Well, I've already spoken about how I found God on my podcast. You can find a link in the description. And spoiler alert, it is not going to be a crazy story with a goosebump twist. It is a very ordinary testimony, and that's exactly why I love it. Nothing groundbreaking, but something meaningful and pure. However, today I want to talk about something else, a problem that many believers might have faced during their journey. I'm talking about the shame of being a believer. It's a hard pill to swallow, I know, but as you know, I love tough topics, so let's get into it. Many people who are believers were not born in religious families, and I'm one of them. As a matter of fact, I was born in a very liberal family, old school liberal, by the way. My parents never told me that God or religions are a bad thing, but they also never advocated for that. Especially my father always wanted me to be a questioner. He taught me to ask the most stupid questions if necessary, to doubt everything, and to look for evidence. However, I would say that both my parents, especially my mom, did believe in a higher power, but they never really cared for its name, or they never really tried any religion. So as you can tell, I grew up with logic, rationality, and evidence. And as I got older, I've read more about atheism. I loved Hitchens and watched a lot of debates of him. I ordered Dawkins' books and was always reaching for some cool facts on evolution. Evolution made a lot of sense in my eyes, and the belief in God was fading more and more day by day. But today I don't want to talk about how I finally found God. Today I want to talk about the embarrassment after I realized that there must be a God. So, what am I talking about when I say I was ashamed to be a believer? In today's world, we associate believers with the less fortunate, with the less educated, and with the less intelligent. And so did I. I used to think that believers are usually naive and closed-minded, which is in fact true in many cases, but the same thing goes for atheists. So the factor belief doesn't necessarily determine your level of ignorance. But I think that I was very afraid to be labeled as someone who is stupid, and the problem wasn't the thought itself, but its core. Why is it so bad to be labeled as stupid? It is usually not because we are embarrassed of the level of our knowledge, because we already know that it is limited, but more because we see ourselves as someone who is better than some people who are clearly stupid. What I'm trying to say is that my problem was that I valued myself more than someone who was, in my opinion, stupid and religious. I thought, why should I be in the same list as him or her? And this is a huge problem. We tend to be proud, and being proud can blind us from the reality. We think we know better, we talk better, we live better, and we are better. But life has its own way to humble us, right? So it is better if we humble ourselves first. I don't mean the fake humbling though, like you're scared that you get humbled, so you humble yourself. I'm talking about questioning your own pride. Why do you think that you are better? Why are you so proud? Dig deeper, and you will find that your pride only comes from damaged places in your heart. So I realized that. I realized genuinely that I'm not better or worse than someone who believes in God and appears stupid in most people's eyes. I humbled myself, but I still had shame. I still felt embarrassed for believing in God. But why was that? Well, the second reason for my embarrassment was my inability of proving. I genuinely felt in my heart that there is a God, but I couldn't prove it. What if someone asks me a scientific question on God? How can I prove that? And what if I just say that I only feel God but can't prove it? This feeling of shame came from my childhood. As I mentioned earlier, I was raised in a household where you needed evidence for every story you wanted to share. My parents were no fans of bullshit. They wanted to know how, where, who. And so I learned to be very evidence-oriented, which is not a bad thing per se, but I just didn't understand that first, you cannot prove everything. or maybe not yet. Sometimes it takes a lot of time to prove something. For example, today we know that the earth isn't flat, but this basic fact wasn't proven until 2000 years ago. Second, you cannot prove that there is no God either. And third, science isn't the only way of the truth. But accepting these were not easy. Something deep down in my heart was guarding me, and the guard showed up as an embarrassment. First, I started to tell people that I was agnostic whenever someone asked me if I was a believer. But at the same time, I felt ashamed towards God. I felt like I was putting him down. What type of real believer would do that? A true believer stays loyal and has no fear. So I realized that I carry a lot of fear. Not only the fear of judgment, but also the fear of God putting me down. What if he doesn't care anyway? What if life gets hard and my belief fades away? What if God truly doesn't exist? And what if they are right? These were tough questions. One needs to be extremely honest, realistic, and at the same time very hopeful to get confronted with them. And I did. I asked myself, what if I lose people who I love the most in the most tragic way? What if I experience war? What if I fall? What if life becomes hell? Would I still believe in God? Well, the answer was, and still is, I don't know. But I pray I will. I pray that I still have him in my heart. I pray that he is with me, because any other answer would be a lie, and God likes no lies. I've learned that the fear doesn't go away. I just need to be more brave. Being brave doesn't mean that you're fearless, but it means that even though you're afraid, you still keep going. And being brave allowed me to put my embarrassment aside. In fact, I got more and more comfortable, and I cared less and less about what other people would think of me. And I know that there are a lot of people who are in the same position. And I pray that this video can help them. I hope that you dare your journey and find the truth within you.